Trinicore Theory and Our Realm. Introduction. If only logic would be enough for life, we would have been designed with one instead of two brain hemispheres. Throughout history and even today there have been various models of different theories of elements. The concept of the element itself often creates confusion. The system requires that as far as possible, under a specific condition, one by one, each domain of life, followed by a belonging name, gets classified into one specific category only. Such an approach can establish and even represent a huge method of understanding, memorizing, and applicability. Of course, in systems there are matrices as certain patterns. It is not enough and should not be understood only as solutions according to some template, recipe, protocol, etc. In many practical areas, in addition to such users' needs, there are also numerous applications of such an approach through various types of instructions. Regardless of the case, for true science it is not enough. Unfortunately, broadly spread, there is a need to try to solve all problems only according to the template. In principle, the protocols should be respected, but this does not mean developing a blind dependence as an addiction to them. Sure, it looks easier, but insisting on it just presents the line of least resistance. In all important areas throughout history, that approach has not proven reliable. With all the schemes and instructions, in addition to the names and definitions of the basic factors, it is important to experience them, and furthermore the relationships between those basic factors as new factors in the widest possible range of their appearances. Users who do not apply this may find systems relatively or completely ineffective. The biggest problem with accepting a teaching is a significant misunderstanding, which people are often not even aware of. It is like the attempts of baffled learners who even burn themselves out incomprehensively trying to learn only the types of problems in math, physics, chemistry, etc., living in the illusory hope that they will, in that utterly wrong way, understand science. It is important to understand that it is not only necessary or desirable, but it is a must to learn the principles by which all this is understood and applied to the solution of specific problems. The more complex the system, the more important is a clear understanding, making it uncomplicated in application. This is the correct path of a healthy mind. In addition to logic, experience is needed for learning, as well as life as a whole. You don't need to be a genius for the right approach. What is primarily necessary is to get rid of any prejudice, arming oneself with patience and while trying to understand the basics, persistently going on. Logic serves to understand mechanisms but not to experience them. Separately, neither logic nor experience can cover everything in life, but together they can. This way of expression, under the name of Trinicore Theory, is a different approach to the ancient four-element theory accredited to ancient Greek wise man Empedocles. Actually, the very true root belongs to the prophet Zarathustra, 6 BC, in ancient Persia. Greeks changed his name into Zoroaster. Approaches to this basically the same theory were not the same. According to the available scripts in Persia, mentioned four elements, fire, water, air and earth, were matter of divination and worshipping. Ancient Greeks adopted it to their other concepts, using it more as a science while continuing with their own religious tradition. Even if Empedocles knew where the four elements theory had come from, there was nothing wrong about publicizing it as his own without mentioning its true origin, because there were some new approaches to understandings and applications. Over history, many strong minds were using ideas of predecessors, adopting content in additional lights as new approaches and under different name, not for hiding reason but to make the point. Main problem arising over centuries considering theory of the four-element is translation as elements. It had happened before chemical elements were accepted in today's comprehension. It must be clear that the notion element has different meanings, as chemical element and a fundamental element defined as a factor. Historically, in Greek original versions, the elements were named roots, but later on, by translation, the concept of elements was accepted and remained as such. Now, approach, explanations and applications cover more complex domains in the light of contemporary understanding. scientific advances, technological achievements, and everyday life significantly transformed along with environmental changes. No one should argue importance of a logic. However, a logic itself proves that scientifically inevitable logical approach taken for entire life's covering, satisfying tool only, appears completely illogical. Generally, importance of one aspect does not unconditionally exclude importance of another one. Trinicore theory covers our realm, but any other as well. Other realms contain different substances, different time and space. Consequently, manifestations of this fundamental theory get another forms and expressions, but fundamental principles of Trinicore remain unchanged in its core essence. Fundamental principle comes first as the root of all principles, laws, and coincidences, or just named as principle. Then follow laws of expression through concepts of energy, force, manifestation, and function. It unconditionally takes place within the creation entirety. Conclusively, this theory appears crucial and essential not only to human cognizance, but to any intelligent form of beings anywhere and ever. Considering any theory, logic is the very groundstone to true scientific and basic understanding. Beside any average or usually accepted logical part as correct one, illogical aspects as well might be summarized into groups including, nevertheless, their common relations. Those quite odder, deeper mechanisms might be, and generally just partially more logically covered only by a much higher level of consciousness. Any realm contains many dimensions and a variety of hierarchy systems, resulting in the oneness of everything. Phenomena expressed by fractal numbers as well connect different dimensions, possibly linking even realms in certain ways eventually. Trinicore fundamental theory implies part of its own terminology that might look practically identical to some other approaches. There is a likely that someone with insufficient sensitivity to vibrational psychosomatic resonance might conclude that terms are simply changed to others with the same meaning. If such a conclusion takes place before true clarification of a basic stand of readiness to concentrate properly, it is recommended to stop reading this presentation until the reader's mind gets calm and settled down without prejudice, to be able to sense subtle differences that strongly change resonance, enabling proper understanding. Already this theory actually exists and has been present in different robes over millennia, as much as we can follow the traces archaeologically as well as by other historical means. Variety of approaches has never diminished its beauty, relevance, inevitability, and usefulness. Over history, the human mind has been reaching a different resonance with environment, circumstances, personal abilities, and levels of achievement. For this reason, new time generates new viewpoints, insights, emotional, mental, and spiritual associations, as well as applications. Sometimes, when combined with misinterpreted explanations, incorrectly understood or pronounced, previous versions of terms used to define something important can induce wrong, even dangerous resonance that can manifest its negative effects over psychosomatics without even perceiving it that way on someone's individual or group's level. This way of explanation offers better resonance in many beneficial aspects, resulting in improved psychosomatics, including more fruitful applications in general. A Trinicore theory, as a physical expression of the Trinity core of existence, is expressed in everything and anything, in myriad of manifested and imaginable varieties taking place everywhere and always in any possible way, with no exception, as the fundamental theory approach. By its properties, it can be presented as the entire philosophical system. To do so, it must have some structure inevitably defined by basic factors of defined set, containing certain unique characteristics by which they manifest themselves, influencing each other in any possible combination. Under the supervision of proper awareness and consciousness level, such an awakened soul can join the Absolute in its creational manifesting harmonization activities of supreme omni-beneficial wellness order. Factor, as a better term than an element, therefore has a unique meaning, and for this reason it is represented by a symbol. The simplest way to present this priceless knowledge to everyone, without hidden meanings, can be done by assigning a numeric value to each of them using standard ciphers out of a natural numbers set. However, there are many other possibilities existing, as it was, for example, alchemical symbolic presentation. Once this is clearly understood, different metaphoric assignment approaches may be used for other, further presented and necessary purposes, offering better explanation without any change to its fundamental pattern, importance and significance. Each of the fundamental principles, in a sense, represents the world for itself, and by interaction of these worlds, different realms come into oneness of simultaneous coexistence. Author Mladen Teovanovich, MD.